Welcome you to the website for Hope Community of Shalom. My name is Nancy Clopton, and I'm the Executive Director here. And I'd like to share with you a little bit about how this organization came to be. It all started around 2000 when Asbury United Methodist Church, in whose building we are now housed, looked around and realized that the membership was growing older, the building was very old, and they just couldn't maintain it forever. And so they wanted to decide what to do with the building. They had a series of meetings, and in those meetings they decided that they did not want to let the building stand empty, that they wanted it to be used in some capacity. And at the same time, they found out about the Shalom movement of the National United Methodist Church. So we had a group come down from the General Board of Global Ministries of the United Methodist Church in 2000, and they did training with us about how to start a community of Shalom. You may wonder about the Hebrew word, and that sometimes is confusing to people who think maybe we're Jewish. We picked the Hebrew word Shalom because of its meaning. It has a very lovely meaning, which includes peace, welcome, community, well-being, all the good things of life, living together and being part of one another. And so that's why the word Shalom was included in the title. When we went to the training, we learned about the Shalom strategies. And the first one was mission evangelism. In mission evangelism, we learned that instead of doing what we think the community needs, that we need to get out and find out what the community says themselves that they need. And so we started with neighborhood walks. We went around the neighborhood talking to people who were out working on their lawn or people out watching children play, and asked them, what is it that this neighborhood needs? We knew that the neighborhood was an older neighborhood, was dilapidated and deteriorated, and that was the first thing that a person would see when they went into the neighborhood. But by walking around and talking to people, we learned there were still a lot of people who cared about the neighborhood and who wanted it to be better. And the thing they told us that they needed was an after-school program. There was a lot of vandalism. Children spent time after school by themselves quite often. And so that was our first priority. Esther Moses came and established the after-school program, and later Jan Taylor joined us and also runs an after-school program, so that we now have 4 days a week an after-school program. Planning, that's our next strategy. And using asset-based planning, we learned to look at our strengths rather than our weaknesses. And so the fact that our building was old was a problem, but we realized it's huge. We have 27,000 square feet, and most of it at the time was unused. And we also realized that our deteriorating neighborhood that we were concerned about could also be looked at as a mission field where there was a lot of need. And so we began to realize that our location might actually be a benefit or a blessing to help us be in the right place to bring services to people who need them. Following that decision, that realization, the church made a big decision. They, in one of the greatest acts of charity that I've ever been involved with, gave the building away. They actually signed over their church building to Hope Community of Shalom. And not only that, but they continue to meet and pay rent to Hope Community of Shalom to help keep us going. But we realized that rent wasn't going to be enough to keep us in business. And so we moved on to the next strategy, which is collaboration, realizing we don't have to do everything ourselves. So we started looking for partners, people who would work with us. And the first group that came was the food bank. They established one of their kids' cafe meals here. And soon many others followed, and I won't list them all because they're on our website, and you can go to those areas and look at them. The final strategy was systemic change. We started out with needs that were very basic. We have a food pantry and a clothing closet. But we also kept an eye on the fact that we wanted to do something not to help people just live from day to day, but to change the way things are for the future. And a number of our ministries, as you go through them, you'll realize are really aimed at touching the future. We established what we call fellowship ministries. We reached out to people who had a mission, who had a dream. And some of them already had a board of directors, and some of them were just an individual person. But we provided space, and they pay us a little rent. For that rent, they can operate very efficiently. Very few of them pay enough rent to cover the cost of keeping their space open. But we also have the services of a receptionist. We have mailboxes and a copy machine and a van that they're able to use to benefit their ministry. We've found that working together this way gives us a wonderful synergy, and we call these groups our fellowship ministries because they run under their own steam. Hope Community of Shalom does not direct them. We don't fund them. They do contribute, most of them, a little bit to help us keep the building open. Some of them are not able to contribute anything, but because of the good work they do, we support them anyway. But in any case, we work together, and we also have found that the ministries can help each other out often. So this kind of synergy, systemic change is now what we're really aimed for. Thank you very much for visiting our website.